Well, the show is about, it's really at its core an underdog story. It's about a bunch of guys sort of like stepping up to plate and hoping to hit a total home run. A lot of entrepreneurs in Silicon Valley are that. It's like a guy with a piece of code, and he's writing that code in a living room with a bunch of other guys, and they've got this kind of crazy idea, looking for a way into a totally oversaturated market, but hoping that their one idea will catapult them to either fame, riches, or a combination of the two. And if you haven't guessed by the name Silicon Valley, it takes place in Silicon Valley. It's the epicenter of tech in the world. Never mind. Yeah, yeah. I play Richard, the guy who's kind of the lead programmer. It's Richard's new algorithm, a compression algorithm that they are trying to apply to different spaces, and I've got my best pals along with me for the ride. At this point, no. True to many startups, the road on Pied Piper's path has been just wrought with failure. It's been a bumpy road, to say the least. That's partly due to that's what happens in real life. That's partly due to part that we need to continue the story for X amount of seasons. And that's partly due to comedy. I mean, it's a comedy show, and it's much funnier to see someone fall on their face than get up and dust themselves off. I mean, it's the falling that's funny. Yeah, well, women are smart too. Wait, what's this happening? Trump? Hello? I mean, the gender dynamics, sadly, in Silicon Valley, or just really in terms of programming and engineering, are not favoring females. Which is a bummer, because even in my travels within this world, some very like highly ranked and incredibly talented programmers and engineers have been female. Some of them consult for the show, actually. So I think that's, you know, our show is mirroring real life, as does good satire. So really, if anyone has qualms with our show, they should look to the industry itself and get your daughter in a programming class, for Pete's sake. Take her out of home ec and put her in programming. Sadly, close. I think, you know, I'm thankfully a little less tightly wound. I mean, I think Richard's like constantly on edge, waiting to sort of like bubble over and explode. I'm happy to say I live my life with a little bit less tension. I talk slightly slower than him. And I dress in cooler clothes. I mean, have you seen these socks? Richard would never wear these socks. He would never do this. I was perpetually cool. No, I was, you know, look, growing up, about just over half of my time, I was, well, 3/4, let's say, I was like teased, you know, the butt of jokes for many bullies. And then I started doing like school plays and community theater, and learned that I could just make people laugh and then I'd be accepted. And so that's what happened. But you know, outside of doing a school play here and there, I would also, like for a weekend, go to LAN parties. And if no one knows what a LAN party is, this is before high-speed internet. So if you wanted to play your games at like lightning quick speed, you'd have to actually bring your computer over to someone's house and connect them all manually. And so we'd do that. My man over there knows. We'd do that, you know, and you could, since it was such a big effort to do it all, you'd have to like make that weekend count. So you'd like play games for 48 hours straight and stuff. So yeah, as long as it wasn't revolving video games, I was pretty dorky. I also play like Dungeons and Dragons and Star Wars and all that kind of stuff. Are you telling me what to do with your son? What am I going to do with this guy? Well, what's interesting about it is just culturally, computers and technology and nerdy things aren't necessarily looked down upon anymore. I'd say almost to the certain point where like now they're just outright mainstream, and now you're almost criticized for not liking them. It's like the nerds have now become the new bullies. It's kind of weird. It's a strange thing. We must be wary of it. But I mean, if there's any young person that has an interest in tech, engineering, or programming, or any of the two, or if there's more options than I don't know about, I say go for it. I mean, follow where your passions are, and especially if you're good at it. Applied science is something that at this point doesn't seem like it's going away anytime soon. It seems like that's the new industry. So if you've got a kid somewhere, or if you are a kid and it interests you, yeah, why shy away from it? Why go out of that to go into this?